The crisis that's happening in Sri Lanka now. Families in Sri Lanka's capital on Sunday took the opportunity to tour their president's residence after it was stormed by protesters. Soldiers were deployed around the city, but troops simply watched from afar as crowds of people splashed in the pool of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's sprawling residence, lounged on beds, and took selfies on their cell phones to capture the moment. Protesters also broke into the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe's private residence and set it on fire on Saturday. A party official, Ruwan Wijawardena, said that Wickremesinghe was inside when the protesters gathered, but security officers removed him to a different location. Wickremesinghe said that Saturday he would leave office once a new government is in place. And hours later, the Speaker of Parliament said Rajapaksa would step down Wednesday. Pressure on both men had grown as the economic meltdown set off acute shortages of essential items, leaving people struggling to obtain food, fuel, and other necessities. If both President and Prime Minister resign, Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abewardena will take over as temporary president according to the Constitution. Argentine left and right wings gathered in the Plaza De Mayo in a protest against the IMF and in opposition to the national government. Thousands of people demonstrated in the streets of Buenos Aires on Saturday amid Independence Day celebrations to protest the government's actions in the face of the country's socio-economic difficulties. Leftist parties, unions, and social organizations gathered at the Plaza De Mayo to call for a general strike and a ceasing of payments in Argentina's agreement with the International Monetary Fund amid the country's increasing inflation and economic volatility. Concerns are surfacing in the country about the negotiation of the debt of $45 billion with the IMF, an unleashed inflation that accumulates 30% so far this year. While traditional left-wing parties packed the Plaza De Mayo, a smaller right-wing group headed from the city's obelisk towards the square and struggled to pass through a police line that was attempting to avoid any kind of violence between the two antagonistic groups. Carrying just Argentine flags and no political party's emblems, they managed to get to the government house to stage their own demonstration, banging pots and singing the national anthem.